Good evening, everyone. This is Robert Stevenson. It is 6:02, I believe. I'm going to open up the regular meeting for the Southwick County Granville Regional School District. Can I get a motion to enter into the meeting?
Someone, second.
Can I get a show of hands to enter into the meeting? Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 7-0-0. Can I get everybody to stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very much. We have a consent agenda tonight with some minutes, some fundraisers. I do have an extra fundraiser that we're going to add to the action items here in a little bit. This is your chance to separate anything in the consent agenda if anybody wants to. All right, we'll move on. Warrants, we've got some warrants. If everybody can take care of those tonight. Correspondence, we are missing our superintendent. She's a little under the weather, so our business office manager is going to step in and take the reins. You got anything on correspondence tonight?
No,
Mr. Camel?
no correspondence.
Are you sure? You just saying there's no correspondence? Okay, so public comment. We're on our first public comment section. We have a couple people here tonight. If you would wish to say anything for public comment, there's, like I said earlier, it's 3 minutes. I'll give to every person that's here. It's not meant as a give and take sort of conversation, but anybody would like to speak, please let me know. Would you like to go first, ma'am?
I would love
You
to.
can just give us your name and your address, and then it's all
Okay,
floor is yours.
my name is Margaret Cresswell and I live at 228 Beating Hills Road here in Southwick.
Okay.
And I'm a retired school bus driver.
Oh, fantastic. You can just stay right where you're at. Floor is
Okay.
yours.
Well, I just want to start from the beginning. I took our insurance because I fully retired this year. So I took our medical insurance. That started, I set it up in December to start January 1. And on the 3/23, I questioned, no, actually it was sooner than that. I questioned my insurance because I noticed it was not being withdrawn from my retirement. So I called the office and I talked to Martin, and Martin told me, yes, I had insurance, don't worry about it. And then I was called on the 2nd and I wrote a check to Southwick County because he was not taking the money out. He had messed up somehow and was not taking out the money. So I wrote a check on the 2nd of March for $334.18. We added my husband on May 1st. He was added because he retired from his job. And so he was added to my insurance because I have better insurance. From there, I found out shortly after that I had no dental insurance that I had asked for. I received a call from my dentist's office saying that I was going to have to pay my dental bill because my insurance, I had no insurance. Okay. Luckily, I was still covered under my husband's insurance through Bay State Medical Center until May 1st. So that was covered by that. So we got that added. So then we went on from there. Everything seemed like it was going fine. And I didn't have any problems until I received my check on the 30th of November. I received my deposit, my direct deposit, and there was a big chunk of money taken out. And so I called the office and I asked for Martin. I was told he was no longer with the department. And so I was put over to Betsy. Betsy checked into it and said that that was definitely my insurance. That's what my payment was. And so that was fine. Okay. I called retirement board and talked to Hampton County Retirement, who I went further back with it, found out that my insurance had not been being paid. From June 1st until straight through November, my insurance had not been being deducted, had not been being paid. I assumed I had gotten a raise from Hamden County Retirement. So I reported it to Social Security, which took away my raise. I called Betsy because I wanted to let her know what was actually going on and said, am I gonna be on the hook for this? I don't believe I should be. I don't think that was not my doing. That was your doing. Okay, it's your mistake, not mine. I received a call last week, telling me that I owed $1,898.80. Okay, and I owe the full amount. And the thing was, you received the insurance, so you owe it all. Doesn't matter if we messed up, you owe it.
So what I'm gonna do, because your 3 minutes is up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna get your name again. What's your name again?
Margaret
And what's your last name?
Creswell, CRESWELL.
What I'm gonna do, after the meeting, I'll have a conversation with our business office manager here, and we'll get back to you, okay?
Okay.
I don't know all the details, but we'll get back to you. And we'll.
I mean, if you have any more questions, you're welcome.
No, that's fine.
Call me and you're welcome to ask me. But we won't hold you up anymore.
No, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Sure, I'm assuming you're looking to take something for public comment. If I can get
I
your
do.
your name and address. please.
Thomas Daly, 650 Circle, Westfield. The reason I live in Westfield is because child is school choice is in grade 6.
Absolutely.
So I'm only here because, to be honest with you, I'm kind of a nervous parent, and so is my wife. We're nervous about a lot of things that are going on in our public schools today across the country. And I think everybody maybe is aware of a lot of these issues. We are certainly aware. I just wanted to offer a couple of things. I would like to make a request respectfully. Try to see if my wife and I can obtain the teaching materials, lesson plans for grades 6 through 8. That's possible. So we can look at the language and see exactly what is being taught to these kids in the classrooms. And I just have a few other things to say. So, like all parents in the district, my wife and I expect that our child will learn facts and truths in the classrooms. So we would like to ask what the administration and the committee are doing to ensure that our children are being taught facts and not nonsense. And to give you an example, I know it's across the country, but there are things happening. For example, a teacher in Seattle last week gave a student a failing grade because the student did not agree with the teacher that men can become pregnant. And I feel kind of silly standing here talking about this, but it's happening. So apparently there are teachers in our country who believe men can become pregnant or change their genders, become a woman and have babies. And that is being taught. And that is wrong. Even our own state with its newly amended teaching framework, there's language in there that says there's more than 2 biological genders. That's wrong. They also talk about that people can wake up one day and suddenly find out they're no longer heterosexual or homosexual or vice versa. That's wrong. That's in the state framework. I've seen it. And I think it is completely appalling that our students, our teachers, our kids will be taught this by teachers if it is happening, but we just don't know as parents. Is this nonsense being taught in our classrooms? We do not know, but for the sake of our child, we would like to know and have this question answered one way or the other. We've also been told by other teachers, other parents in town, friends of ours, there's been some history. I don't know if it's true. She says at the high school library, there are pornographic materials in the library that students can access if they ask for them. And they're kept in a protected specific area. I don't know if it's true. I would think it's not true, but I would like the committee to check into that if possible. There is no doubt, in my opinion, and many other people, that there is an agenda sweeping the country to influence our children and to indoctrinate them in issues and matters that have nothing to do with reading and writing and arithmetic. So we would like to know what our administration and committee are doing to protect our kids from this agenda. We have enough to do to teach our kids academics without having to deal with this nonsense, and it is nonsense. We are here to teach the kids reading, writing, math, and science, not to confuse these kids by telling them that men can have babies. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, we're done. So in summary, we would just based on this, my wife and I would request if we can try to obtain these materials, lesson plans, curriculum for grades 6 through 8, health and sex education, so we can review them for ourselves. Okay, thank you.
Right, student advisory report, Magnolia.
Okay, so Lucas is not here tonight, as I said previously, because we have our auditions for the spring musical this week. We decided to do or Miss Grumwell decided to do Fiddler on the Roof. We had the winter concert this past Thursday. I did not have the time to attend, but Lucas said it went very well. They made about 350 pamphlets, and almost all of them were gone by the end, so they're very happy with that. Some students from SAD, which is Students Against Destructive
Decision.
I'm new. Went out to the Southwick Fire and Police, Granville Fire and Police, Holland Fire and Police, and the Massachusetts State Police in Russell to give them gift baskets and to thank them for working during the holidays. I mentioned previously a group of students from Southwick, along with Mr. Rude, a parent and one of the teachers, fundraised for Reads Across America, and this past weekend we were able to lay them at the cemetery. It was very nice. The Southwick hockey team was there as well. Everyone enjoyed it. The SRS Drama and Theater Department also went on their Broadway trip. I think it was Wednesday. They said it was really fun. They're very excited to, know some more, and it kind of motivated them to want to continue this after high school. They're very happy with it. And then once we finish up break, we will have our wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. I know. They're excited. Looking forward to it.
Rob, we'll talk about the younger buildings. As you said, winter concert. We had a winter concert at Woodland.
Yeah.
On Friday. It was wicked cute. Shout out to Mrs. Pierce for always doing an amazing job. And Mrs. Beebe was the art teacher there. They had them create these like murals of gingerbread houses. And then so one grade did gingerbread house, another one did the people. I can't remember what the kindergarten did. It was wicked cute. And then tomorrow is Powder Milk winter concert. 5 and 6 are at 12:15. Grades 3 and 4 with the 4th grade band is at 1 o'clock. And 5th and 6th grade band is at the high school on Thursday at 6 o'clock.
All the people that are listening online.
Did they wear the little paper
Right.
hats that they make? They did not wear paper hats. I haven't seen my kids wear paper hats down there. But I got to go on Friday, I rushed from work, and then I will be at both tomorrow at Powder Mill because I have the kids in.
So we're expecting reports next meeting.
Yeah, I mean,
on
it's
the-
gonna be amazing.
Magnolia, you're now gonna have competition, so.
Well, I mean, Not forgot, my child can't wait. Powder Mill needs to wear their holiday vest.
Okay,
Because it's Spirit Week almost at both schools.
very good.
Cute.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. Be sure. You're up.
Right.
An update on our yonder pouches.
Yeah, so today's, I believe, day 27 since our rollout.
We have like a little thing in the office, it goes day 28.
I don't know, but when I knew I was coming out, this is quick, so just to put into perspective that we've only been on it for 27 days.
So you're telling me you really don't want to be here?
No, but I was thinking about like some of the things like that we would want to talk about, well, relative to student engagement and things like that. It's really too soon to have any real data on that. As expected, the first couple days were bumpy and rough, and I think I shared with some people. So there's a magnet at the 2 exits for students to release the pouch, and that first day, it was just a mass run. the students just really thought it was fun, I think, like that, the tapping it. And unfortunately, I got caught in the melee personally, kind of pinned up against the wall. So, like, actually,
It's like a yonder pouch in.
it was trying to call for help on the radio. But I can't hear what the response is. I mean, it wasn't dangerous or anything, it was just chaotic. And so I got the front row of students to like pause, but behind them, there was just this.
They wanted that.
So the second day, we had a better plan in place and it was great. And at this point, you almost wouldn't even realize it was happening if you're in the building. Students are not running to the exit with it. Many students are good now at tapping it. I mean, part of the problem was they were hitting it so hard instead of just tap it. So that's been good. Most students are in the routine of putting it in the morning. The assistant principals are doing the homeroom checks to double check. Because we're still running into, so there's a fair amount of students on a given day. Oh, I don't have my phone today, or I don't have my phone today. Which is not 100% true for all the students who are saying it. But we are not seeing phones, which is ultimately the goal. Even though sometimes there's some suspicion that there is, we definitely have reduced students asking to leave the bathroom and traveling in the hallways. In part because of yonder, in part for some other restrictions on passes that were doing, that is noticeably reduced. In terms of in-class behavior or student engagement, we really just don't have enough data at this point in time. And, you know, these days have been rolling into the holidays. So we wouldn't expect certain things at this time.
One of the main reasons, and I know this is early, I don't disagree with you. One of the main reasons why I asked if you could come today is to get an update on any sort of comments, concerns. I know we had some concerns in the community about this when it started. I wanted to get you back so that you give us an update. Are you getting a plethora of phone calls? Are you getting any concerns from parents, or is this pretty much gone rather smooth?
Pretty much gone rather smoothly. In the initial days, those first 2 or 3 days, there were some concerns. The assistant principals and myself, we called and spoke to all the families with concerns. And I would say as a result of that, 98% of people that we spoke to were like, okay, I get it, or yes, we support you, or a smaller percentage were still resistant, but okay. So
Are
that's.
they the ones that don't have their phone?
I'm not entirely sure. There was a variety, there was a kind of a variety of reasons, you know. I don't want to pay for it if I know my child will damage it, I don't want to pay for it if they do, that kind of thing. So just, I mean, just things, maybe more individualized kind of concerns.
Okay.
So no, it is not persisted, I have not, it doesn't seem to be an ongoing issue at this point. Teachers are very happy,
That's gonna be my next one.
very happy. High school teachers want to know when. That is absolutely.
So along that line, because that was one of the concerns and questions that came up out in the community about, well, we've already agreed that we're gonna take this to high school. That's not what we agreed here. We've given the high schoolers an opportunity to get in line, to pay attention to. Now, I know we do have another option that has been tried in the math group that seems to have worked quite well. Is there talk about, hey, why don't we have them deposit their phones at the front of the class to try to get some better
Some
engagement
other
like they're
departments
doing
are doing
it?
that, arts and technology, English, like other departments are doing that now. That does not mitigate some other concerns we have with using in terms of taking video in other areas of school, in terms of still wanting to read all the time so that so if I can't use my phone in the classroom, I want to go to the bathroom. So
Can't they
those,
set it up that when when they're doing it in math class? They're gonna deposit their phone in front of the class when they come into the class. Does that mean they get to grab the phone if they go to the bathroom?
I think in some classrooms, that is the case. And students would expect that, they're expecting that they,
Because they need to make a call when
and
they go to
because
the
they're
bathroom.
leaving their phone, so I'm leaving my
Oh.
phone in this room and I'm going to another room. That's one of the things students don't like to do, they don't like to be apart on the phone. That's why the Yonder Patch allows them to carry it with them. Even though they can't access it. So I mean, all of these, I think, are good things to talk about and be aware of, but probably later in the year. When we have more time with the middle school. If you were not aware, CTEC has rolled this out. Westfield has rolled it out.
Full time in the high school.
What ages for?
I'm not
both CTEC
sure,
and
I'm not
Westfield?
sure about Westfield, but CTEC, their school.
It's,
Yeah.
and it's.
And
So-
it's great.
So all of our high
Nice
school
as well.
kids, if they go to CTEC, are putting their phones
Right.
in the Yonder pouches.
So it will be, as we go through the year, talking to, Don Jarvis over there about how it's going there. would be
For sure.
Something that I would do.
So when would you like to come back and give us another update? When would be a good time from your perspective?
I think probably around the time when we're talking about handbook revision.
Okay.
So in the
Sounds
spring, in the late spring, yeah, we'll have a number of things at that time, just a variety of things coming up relative to handbook, and that would be a good time. for all of you, probably.
Since we got you here, quick question. How is our vape sensors going?
They are effective. They are effective in detecting and deterring.
Did I hear, I don't know what's true or not. If we have one that got damaged, destroyed. We have some kids go crazy on one of these things and break it.
It did not get destroyed,
Oh, okay.
so
It was attempted to be destroyed.
attempted.
The detectors detect tampering. So if someone is tampering with the device, we are alerted to that as well. And so you can pair that the same way you can detect vape, you can detect tampering, you can detect the two in combination with one
So
another.
if somebody attempts to damage or destroy that unit, we will be able to go and figure out theoretically who's in there during that time frame. Okay, good. That's what I want to make sure, because if they're gonna be silly enough to do that, I'm hoping that we've got the information available that we can find out who's doing that
We did,
and address it.
we did, and
Okay.
it's been addressed monetarily.
Awesome. That's what I was hoping you guys were gonna say. Very good. So Magnolia, maybe pass that on to all the students. This
There
is
you
just
go.
like when they're on the airplane.
I think everyone.
They know.
Tamper with the smoke detectors in the airplane, you get kicked off the airplane.
And I
So,
bet that costs a whole lot more.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
It does, and that occurred extremely early on in
Oh,
this.
really?
So, the word was out pretty quick that all the things.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
the Magnolia was like, oh, everybody knows.
No.
Everybody knows. Good. Well, that's good. Look, if they just don't vape, it's not a problem. Right?
Yeah, and we're touching.
Right. we're checking. All right, well, thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
Have a pleasant holiday. Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us. All right, policies. We got nothing to show to you guys. You ready,
Right,
Mr. Trammell? All
right,
right, action items, you're up.
right. Approve consent agenda, move to approve consent agenda items as listed or recommended.
So
All right, show of hands, accept the consent agenda. Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 7-0-0.
This is the second donation from this Black Bot Giving Fund that was set up by someone from the community member, that this is going to go to our athletic revolving account. And so accept donation of $500 from Blackbaud Giving Fund and approve expenditures. Move to accept Blackbaud donation and expenditures as outlined, recommended.
so
Any questions on this? Show of hands, accept the motion. Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 7-0-0.
So JJ and A Sports is the company that we're using for a feasibility study for the fields. I looked back at the school committee notes. It was approved for the $30,000 which can cost, but we did not identify an account that this would be taken from. So
We can't take it from.
we can't, yeah, he's not an account.
It's almost, like, just take it from that, it's like,
So Steve was in, Mr. President was in a couple weeks ago to help me with some end of the year, reporting and his memory thought it was coming from a capital account that we didn't use. So with Jesse accountant, and Eric Wykander. So what we identified is in 2019, there are some, building improvement funds that were unused that would allow for us to take that $30,000 from the building improvements and put towards, funding this. It's 30,000, I think there's $32,000 in it. This is $30,000. I think there's 5 invoices of $4,000 and 2 invoices of $8,000 that we'll get over the next 18 months from JJ&A. So my recommendation is to move to approve payment of not only the $4,000, but the entire $30,000 of JJ&A Sports feasibility study to the unused capital improvement funds from 2019. Recommend.
So,
Second.
anybody have any questions on this? Show of hands approved.
well.
Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 7-0. So in order to beat the record, I'm gonna entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, well, superintendent's not here, so no report from her. You got a report tonight, Joe?
EAD has been filed as well, so that's our excess and deficiency, so we'll wait to get confirmation from on that. So all of end of the year reports have been submitted.
Oh.
Yeah, we got 2 other action items. No, I know. So,
Like something right over
all right, we got a couple extras here that we need to add. I'm gonna read the move to approve the rate increase of non-contract employee / IT for the 23-24 fiscal year recommended.
So moved.
Questions on this? Show of hands to approve the motion. Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 7-0. And we got a late fundraiser here from Mr. Grant. I'm going to move to approve the fundraiser for game night for class of 2027 in the cafeteria on the 18th of January. Recommended.
So,
Second.
Questions on this? Show of hands to approve the motion. Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 7-0. We forget anything else? Or are we good? Good, all right. Subcommittees, negotiations, we gave an update already. Finance, we're gonna have, we have another meeting coming up?
The next meeting,
January.
Mr. Wykan is gonna come and talk about some green initiatives.
Absolutely. You get anything, Erica? I don't have anything.
Nothing good.
Nothing good or nothing important?
Well, I wanted to talk about the yonder pouches, how they
Oh,
instituted the
good,
yonder
yeah.
pouches. They had their funds management person come in and talk about how they do the billing for children with special needs
Mhm.
and the resources that they get from the state. And since 1993, Southwick has billed $2.4 million, so.
Circuit breaker?
No, it's, it's just the billing of these things for IEPs. It's the woman from, Medicaid.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
Medicaid
yeah.
billing. Yeah, I'm sorry.
To receive $2 million?
Since 1993. So like this year, I think it was like $94,000. Usually it's
Yeah.
around that amount.
Yeah.
But it's just the billing. And some cities and towns don't even bill for it. So
Oh,
there's money that's
okay.
out there
A
that's.
lot of it's related to what we get back from the families have to complete the
Correct.
forms as well
Okay.
for us to then. be
So
able
better
to-
compliance from
it's-
the family side helps
yeah,
us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, there's a company at LP Vec that does it for us. So if we don't have like a form signed by the family, they make sure that form gets signed.
Well, that's great.
But that's it.
Policy, we got through
We got through H today.
H.
We've made
So-
pretty good progress.
G is getting pretty much carved out. We got rid of a lot of
Most
G,
of what was in G is unnecessary, so that's gone.
which is good, so we're getting to the big meat of the policy next time in January. Hopefully we'll get back, that's what I forgot to ask Liz. Hopefully we will get back some of these finalized ones so we can vote on them here soon. We got A through H that's not ready,
You
but
guys are rocking and rolling.
We are. The
Yeah.
next ones are the curriculum and instruction, so
Mhm.
those are the ones that are gonna take some more time and more discussion.
yeah,
But yeah, we're doing well.
buildings and grounds. We'll have another thing from J&J coming
Yeah.
up sometime soon. ILT,
Yes, we had a meeting since our last meeting. And I think we've told you guys before, this year we transitioned back to in-person meetings.
Yep.
They're now an hour and a half long, they're true working meetings, and I just have to say that the change has been phenomenal. The energy in the room, is just very palpable. And there are presentations from all three schools. Often teachers, administrators, presenting and us working. Ryan's gonna kind of show you a little bit about what we did, for, the younger kids.
Yeah, we did, this one was about data and then how they analyze data and use it to further our instruction in the classroom. So they actually gave us some handouts and we had to go through, like say you have a student and you're looking at their, Dibbles and iReady scores and actually can see how they're making progress. Remember, we always see that staircase when they talk about it, of where on there that they're actually missing the mark. And then you kind of follow along with their scores and follow this decision-making tree that they have, and it's depending on what grade that they're in, and then where it places them up. Maybe they need more instruction through one-on-one with the reading intervention, so how they do that versus having small groups in the classroom versus just, making a progress in their own classroom one-on-one. It was really actually interesting, and we were like, oh my God, this takes forever, but it's
probably quick for them.
very quick for them. A, they're used to it. B, some kids you can just fly right through because they're meeting our requirements and you move on. But it was really interesting to to look at and see how they figure out how to change.
Match up performance and the way that we use that data with how we're providing our supports, our instructional supports. And it's a kind of a very programmed flow chart, but it makes perfect sense based on, what
That
builds upon what.
staircase.
And we're talking here about reading and
Yeah, this was.
reading and writing.
So it takes all the guesswork out of what the kids need or
Right,
kind of guides
exactly,
them as to what the best
exactly.
resources.
So, yeah.
Right,
That
I
is
mean, you can only do so, right, so like, the kids can get so far and do okay as an overall score. And then you kind of break it down and see they're like, well, but they do okay in this part that's maybe up the ladder, but they're only gonna be able to get so far up that ladder before these parts that they kind of miss at the bottom are really gonna affect them. It was really interesting.
And then at the regional school level, we were looking at ELA MCAS scores. And we
They're writing.
used the MCAS rubric to score various responses, student responses. And basically, we were looking at what the students do well and what they don't, because we are potentially looking at a change in courses for the middle school level based on the fact that students really could use an additional writing class.
In the
And
high school, people they got given the students samples of writing without their name on, without the grade on it. And they were given the opportunity to grade it what they felt it would meet this criteria, to kind of see how our students did and how to then tailor a course to help.
again, using data to inform instructional practices.
Great. Wellness? I think we're all sick.
Poor Jen is-
So I think we were getting stuff today about staying in class. I know, I got something
Yes.
from
Yeah.
Woodland and Powdermill.
Yeah. Saw that, I think it just came out, I talked to Joe about that beforehand, a little bit more clarity, I think would have been nice, I got that and I'm like, why are we getting this now? Apparently they just got it from the state. So
That's a
that
state-
makes a little bit more
state
sense,
law.
yeah.
But an issue.
Yeah,
across the
absolutely,
state.
I was trying to figure out what prompted this.
When you're sick or?
Well, no,
No,
it's just,
chronic absenteeism.
like prior to COVID, we would have like a chronic absenteeism of, I don't know, like I said, 10 or 12% of the students. And it's closer to like, well, I know it ain't every school might be different, but it's closer to 20%. And is it
Wow.
really because we just don't wanna be there today, or if we actually are sick? Cause you know, it's hard to go back to school after COVID and get it, but
So it's
just like your
a
job,
nationwide
that's what your
issue.
job
It
is, and you
was,
should be there.
you know, a communication form provided by DESI. And, you know, then went out to parents to avoid litigation, basically ask for help, you know, in terms of making sure students go to school.
It's also happening in the workplace.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right,
All right.
you're right.
True, absolutely.
You know. Sped,
Got it.
technology. Capital committee?
Not yet. We're
Master-
holding off. Right.
Master plans on hold, athletics, I gotta set up another meeting, probably after the holidays. Legislative, we're done right now. Public comment, everybody's good. Old business. New business, we're getting closer, Pam. Gonna be getting
Under
somewhere.
new business route, just for
Yeah.
clarification, Mrs. Cresswell called me last week.
Okay,
I already reached out to Joe.
okay,
He's looking at something.
okay,
Yeah, we are absolutely aware of the situation. Everything that she shared with us is accurate in what we were aware of. Talk about what the options are.
okay, just once we get all the info, let me know.
Yeah, the new thing that she called me, I think yesterday about was. She didn't realize, she did think it was a raise, so she did notify Social Security, so she did lose that money.
Post on her or something.
You know.
But Joe was looking into a
All right.
certain
No, that's
policy.
good. I mean, everybody,
Figure it out.
not every system runs smoothly. It's about what happens when the issues come up. Let's make sure we get all the information, let's identify what the options are, and then let's figure out what we've gotta do. So, I'll ask that later. Okay. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? All right.
Happy
Record
holidays,
show
everybody.
7:30. Christmas,
Yes,
everybody.
happy holidays.
Have a great week.